From our studios in Scottsdale, Arizona, this is Retirement News Online. Most investors think risk is just the market going down, but true risk is far more complex, especially for people nearing or in retirement. A skilled advisor helps clients understand the different types of risk that they face and builds a plan that protects their lifestyle, not just their portfolio. And here to talk about this is Tim McCarty in Lexington, South Carolina. Swarm Financial is the name of the firm. So, how do you help clients understand the difference between market volatility, which is, again, that's a feature of the market. It's not a problem. It's just how we make money. Sure. And long-term risk to their retirement income, because market volatility when you're younger doesn't really matter as much, and sometimes it's an advantage,
Sure.
but it's different when you're older.
Absolutely. When clients think about market volatility, typically they just look at the ups and downs of the markets. They want to have a knee-jerk reaction whenever the market falls. It's something they understand. Most folks understand that when you're 20, 30, even in your 40s, it's not a big deal. A lot of clients will call and ask us, how much money did I lose? Did I lose anything overnight if this happened or that happened? And what we do is we work with our clients so that we can position them so that we don't have to worry about those market downturns. We help them understand that if a plan is put in place properly, that those downturns, especially into your mid-50s and early 60s, those downturns don't really affect you. You take $100,000 and you lose 20% on it, you've got 80 grand left. If the next year the market's great, it rallies again, and you've got your 20% back, you're not back at your $100,000. And so many people don't understand that. It takes so much more of a gain to make up for a loss. Mm-hmm. So when you don't want those gains anymore, those losses anymore, when you're too old for that, we can help you devise a plan so that you sleep well at night.
Ooh, let's talk about that. So I think the most difficult thing for financial advisors is to balance growth and protection. So if you protect, we typically have to de-risk.
Sure.
To grow, we typically have to add risk. That's the conventional wisdom, but there are some ways to do both, create growth, because we still have to, when somebody has a retirement of 30 years, we have to kind of keep our foot on the gas pedal, don't we?
Sure,
To kind of get
absolutely.
growth. But then at the same time, we have to protect everything we work so hard to build. How do you do that? Because that doesn't sound like stocks.
Risk tolerance is something that it's so unusual, because people will tell you that they're willing to take more risk than they're willing to take. Then once they've taken the risk, they don't like the decision that they've made. Risk tolerance you can gauge a person's risk tolerance by conversation. You come in with someone, you sit down, you have a conversation with them, you listen to them. How do they live? How much money do they spend in retirement? Do they travel extensively? Are they homebodies? What do they spend their money on? Talking to someone about how they actually live, I feel like, is probably one of the best representations of what their risk tolerance could possibly be.
And then again, we've had conversations about sequence of returns risk.
Absolutely.
Okay, so not a big problem when you're younger, right?
Yep.
So because we're not taking income, but with income, it matters. When you take income, when it's dependent on the market.
Sure.
Explain what sequence of returns risk and then how you mitigate that.
Well, sequence of returns risk is basically where you're entering retirement or you're nearing retirement and you wind up with a large market loss. That can be devastating. Here you are, you're already taking X amount, 5% a year out of your retirement savings. When you come up with a 10 or 15% loss, then you are incurring that loss as well as an expense. And at that age, you don't have time to wait for the market to come back. So of course your goal is to mitigate that risk so that doesn't happen to you. And annuities are a great way to mitigate that risk. You can set up an annuity, you can create an income stream from it, and you can guarantee that income for life. We have a lot of folks tell us that there's a lot of value in peace of mind. Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of misconceptions about those products, about annuities. It's not like it's not grandpa's annuity anymore.
Absolutely.
They've evolved. You have liquidity, and you have all sorts of other things, and there's some hybrids that take care of things like long-term care and
Sure.
other things, that the risks that we face in retirement. Tim, I appreciate your time. This has been great. Tim McCarty, Swarm Financial. This is Retirement News Online. If you'd like to learn more, or you just have some time on your hands, visit retirementnewsonline.com. Thanks for watching.